Rebic, Rafa, tira, gol! Rafael Leao! Oggi segna Leao! La mia giornata è iniziata così! Oggi
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Torgrud. We don't have Ollie Fisher, we don't have Gian, we don't have Stefano, we don't have Ahmed Badair. Everyone told us an hour before recording that they were busy, so it is myself and Madison, the two loyal hosts for you.
Yeah, I'll say, but you're stuck with me. And when you were doing your intro in my head, I was like, I'm your host, Ollie Fisher. But then you said Anthony Torgru, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's weird, and I totally just copied Ollie's little speech, but it's all good because I'm here, so I get to do that today. But yeah, we should have a fun one. We got 3 games to cover, 2 reviews, 2 dubs, and then a preview for a game that should also be a dub realistically. But we'll just dive right in with the first one. Lazio in the cup midweek, beat them 4-0. It was light work, very direct, dominant game. Honestly, we probably could have scored more, but yeah, Leao scored a beautiful early goal. In fact, we're going to do something a little weird here. We're going to talk about a Lazio and a Sampdoria goal at the same time because damn near identical, both very early in the game.
They were.
Romagnoli had a massive through long ball in the Lazio game to Leao, ran up the side, cut in, goal. Exact same thing happened on the weekend against Sampdoria, except it was Maignan from goal passing the ball as opposed to Romagnoli, but exact same thing, same position he received it, same cut and move, same shot, same goal. It's amazing no one could catch this kid. He's the best. The second goal was Leao again assisting. So he made a move. Actually, I think Brahim gave him the ball, so Brahim had like the hockey assist on it, and then Leao the ball threw it across goal. Drew tap in. Drew is now on, well, not anymore, but he was on 2 braces in a row after the Inter game where he had 2. He had 2 games in the Lazio game as well. The third goal was also Giroud, and I don't remember who assisted. Oh, Teo assisted him. Brahim had the hockey assist on that as well. And then the final one, Daniel Maldini free kick hits a Lazio player, deflected to Frank Kessie. Hits it in from about the penalty spot.
It was
area.
a weird angle, I thought.
It was a weird angle. It was tight, but it was like that penalty spot distance out just on the far side. And yeah, put the game to bed quick. Lazio kind of suck.
Yeah. I missed the first half, so I missed all of the excitement. But in the replays, Giroud was just getting some FIFA goals, man. Some cross tap-ins. Really easy, really good for confidence. I was not expecting a 4-0 win. I was expecting maybe 2-1 or 3-1. I think you predicted 3-0, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice to go to the semifinals. I don't really want to play Inter again, but I'm pumped for it. It's just like anxiety for an hour and 20 minutes or so.
And we get it twice because it's 2
we
weeks
get it
semi.
twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Gian and Steph might be planning on going to the game. That'd be pretty dope for them if they can pull it off. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see if they go to that. But yeah, playing intro over a 2-leg semi is never fun. Like that's always the hardest game, and form doesn't matter. I mean, we won one against all odds just last week.
Right.
They drew against us early in the season when they were sucking and we were high flying, and honestly, they should have won it because they had 2 penalties, but Tato were trying to save one. So, yeah, that game's always hit or miss. You never know what's going to happen there, and to have to do it twice, 4 times on the season is a lot. It's rough, but I didn't want to be in the cup final. I'd rather just focus on the league. I wanted us to go out against Genoa, but since we beat them and then we beat Lazio, and now we have Inter, you don't want to willingly go out, So now it's like focus on that and just get the trophy, because whoever wins our semi is probably going to win the whole thing. It'll be, I think Juve is the other team, which sure they got Vlahovic, they're good. Excuse me, but they're still not that great. I mean, they just drew the weekend at Atalanta, and that should have been a loss. Atalanta scored late, and then they just got a lucky one in stoppage time, of course. But yeah, enough about them. I think we're high flying. We'll be good. Back to the Lazio game. For me, I think Brahim Diaz needs a lot of credit because he's been poor lately, and in fact, most of the season. But since Kessie went to AFCON and he came in, he's been doing great. You know, we tried Kessie at attacking mid against Inter. It failed. We brought in Brahim. The game changed. Same thing with Lazio. We started with Brahim, and he had 2 hockey assists. So he didn't get anything on the actual sheet, but you could tell each play was running
Right.
through him. He was creating chances. He's winning fouls now. The one criticism of him we've all had since he arrived last season, he gets pushed off the ball. He doesn't win fouls. Well, he's winning them now and it's showing. So yeah, I know skipping
Either
ahead.
that's better acting or people are actually being more aggressive towards him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's just his dribbling is so well that when he's getting hit, he's just making sure the ball's nowhere near to be touched. You know, and he's
Right.
not hitting these shoulder to shoulders. He's getting tripped up. So, I mean, when we get to tops and flops, well, spoiler alert, you have my top of the game, even though he didn't get any assists or goals. But yeah, Giroud is now our top goal scorer in all comps. I think he's on 10 goals now, and Zlatan's on 9.
It'll
Oh,
be
wait.
interesting what happens when Zlatan comes back.
Leao scored against Sampdoria. Leao might be tied with him now. Let me double check that because I think he was on 8 or 9 himself. He might be tied with. He's tied with either Giroud now or Zlatan, and I'm not 100% on that. Let me find it here. Yeah, Leao scored early. Sorry, I should have had this. Okay, so Leao's got 3 goals, or I'm sorry, 7 goals in Serie A, but outside of Coppa Italia, he's got 2 in Coppa Italia, so that brings him to 9. He scored in Champions League as well, didn't he? I'm looking.
That was
Yeah,
so long ago, I don't remember.
he did. Yeah, he scored against Atletico, so he is on 10 goals as well. So Leao is tied with Giroud for a top goal scorer. That's good. I'm glad it's Leao. I mean, I'm glad for everyone to score a lot, but Leao's
Minutes
still,
per
so.
goal, though, Zlatan is 113, Giroud is
Yeah.
137, and Leao's 212.
Well, Leao also has to play every game, whereas the other guys don't. But I get what you're saying. I don't know. I think being out wide on the wing, you're expected to score a little bit less.
Salmakers is 1,430 minutes per goal.
1,400. Oh wow, that's not good.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Anyway, this is what happens when Oliver's not the host.
Yeah, we just go all over the place, tangents. It's not as organized, but you get more raw thought. So some people might like that, some people might not.
We'll get a lot of hate in the comments, and I'll have more than 15% talk time this week. So
yeah, you should have
shout
at
out
least
to that guy.
50, 40, 50, 60. Who knows? It's up to you. Yeah, I think
Tops
that's
and
really.
flops.
Yeah, that's really it for Lazio. My top, I think the obvious choices are going to be Leao, goal and assist, Giroud, goal, Brahim, 2 hockey assists. I'm going Brahim because he doesn't get a lot of attention lately, so I'm picking him.
I didn't watch the game, so I will go with Giroud because he scored 2 goals.
Yep, can't argue with that. I mean, that's ultimately what matters the most. So, and then for flops, that is a tough one because, well, there really aren't many. Everyone looked great in the game. Let me just cheat and pull up SofaScore, see what the lowest rated person was for us. And yeah, so this is how you know that you can't trust these stat things. But Tonali was our lowest person. Granted, he had a 6.4, which isn't bad. It's just because he had a yellow card. But the rest of the team was 7s or 8s. Wow, that's actually crazy.
Calabria got a 6.9.
Yeah.
This is on
yeah.
FootMob. I don't know if that's what you use.
Yeah, Footmom. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he even had a bad game either. It's just, I don't know. I don't really want to pick a flop, to be honest with you. I think they all were good.
Works for me because I don't have anybody, and I would have said Tonali because he had the lowest score. So
That works. All right, well, Lazio in the bag. Sampdoria, harder game than Lazio. Not much, but it was.
it looked harder.
Yeah, and I think that's just byproduct
Early
of
morning
playing
kickoff.
early morning kickoff. 2 games in the
Afternoon
league.
kickoff for them.
Yeah. Early morning for us, though. Your cat's playing with the blinds.
Dude, I live in a goddamn zoo.
My dog's sleeping right next to me. But Yeah, so Sampdoria, we already talked about the goal. I probably shouldn't have in hindsight since there was only one, but Leao got an early goal, 8 minutes in. Mignon assist. I think Mignon is our first goalkeeper. You have two cats in there. I didn't know you had two cats. I thought it was the same cat always. That's funny.
No, there is both black cats.
um, yeah, Mignon is our first goalkeeper to score an assist since Dita did it again, and I can't remember the team Dita did it against, but Giampaolo was the manager of that team as
Yeah.
well. So, fun fact there, Giampaolo ball still awful, and somehow Lazio's worse than Giampaolo. But yeah, Leao scored early, and then it seemed like it was just going to be routine work, but it really was hard to break down after that. It wasn't for a lack of trying. No, actually, kind of was.
Was it Cessna?
Oh,
Oh,
Chisena.
sorry, was
Yeah,
it C?
Chisena.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm gonna get
You
shit
will.
on for
You're
that
gonna
one.
get shit for that, but it's all good.
I was
A
like,
lot of it.
Cessna? That sounds like a plane.
Cessna is a plane, yeah. Yeah, there wasn't really anything else that happened after that, to be honest with you. It was kind of cagey. There was a lot of yellow cards. Brahim and Romagnoli got one early. Benacer got one late. Macias almost scored. That was like the other highlight. He had a great shot,
Yeah.
but it was ultimately right at the keeper, to be honest with you. But
It was
still
honestly a
really good
very stressful
reflex save.
game
I don't think it was
because
stressful. I don't feel like they had many shots though. We
no,
just
but
weren't scoring.
it felt like it was going to come, that they were going to get a goal.
I think I
And
did
then,
say, yeah, the late goal I expected.
and then maybe like the last 10 minutes or so, we started to take control again. And I was like, all right, maybe they won't.
Mm-hmm.
But after beating Lazio 4-0, I was kind of expecting a stronger showing from the team. But it was the third game in 8 days. The guys are tired.
Yeah.
We have a long break now. Hopefully, we win next
Yeah.
week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get the proper rest.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Salmakers does not start. I have an agenda against him though. So
Yeah, I do too, and it's mainly just because Gian has an agenda for him. So it's
yeah,
a little,
that's basically it.
yeah, just infighting among the SempreMilan crowd, so don't take it too seriously. But yeah, just looking at the stats here, we had 15 shots to their 4, and they had 0 big chances. So that tells you everything. I mean, the expected goal for them was 0.2, ours was 1.5. So we definitely were looking like we were going to get another one over them. With 7 shots on target, like we were doing pretty well. The issue is we only got the one goal, and ultimately that was enough to win it. They weren't that threatening, but still, in those games, we all have PTSD, and you think we're going to concede late. I thought we were going to when it was like 83rd minute. I was like, okay, here we go. It's going to happen, and it didn't. So we got away with that there. And that's really all there is to say about that. Sampdoria was a boring game, to be honest with you. There wasn't much to it. So
No, it was pretty straightforward and really hard to watch at 6:30 in the morning.
yeah, man, I had 2 coffees very, very fast. So I set my alarm for right before kickoff. Like I think it was 6:23. It was just a weird time that I picked because I just kind of like threw the little ticker and let it stop where it stopped. So I woke up, turned the TV on, brewed coffee, and that's what I did. And then I looked out the window because the sun was still down at first. So at halftime, the sun came up, and I looked out the window and it was snowing. I was like, oh, here we go again. But luckily the snow wasn't too bad. But yeah, tops and flops. I'll let you go first.
Leao is my top.
Okay.
Flop is kind of hard because like no one on the team really looked horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a mix of between Salamakers and Kessier because when they came on, the dynamic of the game changed. So I will say from that moment on, it was just kind of a flop, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because Kessie came on as attacking midfielder again, and it was less successful. I think it just worked out against Empoli for whatever reason, but it didn't work against Inter, and it didn't really work for him here. I think Krunic came on late in the game, and then Kessie dropped back into his natural position, and I feel like he did better. But to be honest, I don't remember anything relevant from when he was moved back, so maybe he didn't. But yeah, I think as far as like my top player, I mean, it's got to be Leao. He scored the only goal, but I also want to give Mignon a shout out just for that incredible assist
Yeah,
and a clean sheet. I think he has 8 clean sheets now, and he missed a month and a half of the season. And the
and
top
he's like
guy is
a quarter
Ospina
of the
with 11.
price
So
of what
yeah,
Donnarumma was.
yeah. So Mignon, always big shout outs there. Um, my flop, I'm also gonna go with Salamakers. I just don't think he did anything. I mean, Macias was.
No, like there was a few times where like he was starting to look good.
Mhm.
The first one was he ran up the wing, looked good, crossed it all the way out of bounds. And I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? You're a professional footballer. Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
And that's my
Second
issue
one,
with him, man. Like it's always. And sorry, I'll let you finish. Actually, here, go ahead.
second one, you and I were talking about it in the chat. He was on the left side and he looked like Messi dribbling the ball. And then he ran right into a defender. It's like, dude, you
Yeah,
know what to do. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, he could have
Pass
shot
the
it at
ball to
any time.
Rebic or shoot it.
Yeah, and like people are hyping up those dribbles, and they are fantastic dribbles. Don't get me wrong, they're great, but they're worthless if you do nothing with it.
Right.
So, and he actually did the worst possible thing with it, which was give the ball away. So I don't know, man. His dribbling is good, but his issue's been the same all season. He could get in a good spot, but once he gets there, he has no decision making ability. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
that cross completely out of bounds for a throw in on the other side. It was like, what are you doing, man? Like, and there were people open. Then that dribble in the box, he was like right near the penalty spot area. Could have just shot it. I mean, I don't know how clear it was from his point of view, so I'll benefit of the doubt there, but he dribbled 4 or 5 step overs and got around 2 dudes. He probably had a shot at some point, or he could have laid it off to someone. There were other people around. Like he
Right.
could have done something, and he just kept dribbling. I don't know if his goal was to dribble it all the way into the goal, but yeah, it's constant with him, and I think that's why I've become so critical because his 70% of his play, awesome, great dribbles, run, cool, but that last 30, shooting, decision making,
Mm-hmm.
first touch, all the stuff that determines if the counterattack's going to be successful or if it's going to flop and then we're getting countered. He fails. So
Right.
that's my issue with him. I don't even dislike the player, but lately I haven't been too big on him.
I feel like he was good when we got him because he was something different than Suso
Yeah.
and a step up from Castillejo because he had flair, he had potential. And then when he re-signed his contract, it was just like
It's
straight
so weird how
downhill.
that happened because it was literally the day after he signed that contract that he just tanked, just fell off. And
Yeah.
part of me thinks like maybe he's like, okay, I earned it. Now I'm gonna relax a little bit because people do that. They get a little complacent, but maybe not professional athletes so much. And the other issue is,
He's not professional, man. He should be playing in like Division Two of Belgium. Nothing against Division Two of Belgium. I'm sure they're professional, but not
yeah,
Serie
well, he
A
didn't have any
professional.
real competition for a while until Macias showed up. And even though Macias is consistently putting in better performances, he's still not the permanent out and out starter. He should be. I need him to get one more goal, man. He's been so close in the last multiple games, and it's. I'm afraid I'm going to lose this bet with Isaac now. I just need one goal. That's all I need.
How much do you have to pay him?
£20. I don't know what that comes out to in real world dollars, but
I owe my buddy $190 for the Super Bowl, so it's not that bad.
nope, not bad at all compared to that. um, yeah, well, moving on. Also, I had Bengals winning the Super Bowl as well. But I called every step of the way, dude. When OBJ went off, I was like, all right, things are about to change. And then
Mm-hmm.
they scored immediately after halftime, took the lead, and they were dominating the game.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the Rams made that final drive, which was incredible, scored, I was like, okay, here's what's going to happen. They're going to run it up. They're going to try to take a field goal with like 15 seconds left. And they're either going to go to extra time or this is going to be an L for Bengals. And then they got that crazy turnover, and that was it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, football is predictable. Not our football, American. Well, our football, not our football. American football is. Okay, Salernitana preview. So this game kicks off in 5 days. Well, probably 4 days from the time you're watching this, but it is Saturday. And is it an early morning game? No, this is a late game, so that's good for us. But just looking at the head-to-head, because we obviously played them earlier this season, and that's the only time, we have a 100% win record against them. We won 2-0 earlier in the season, and ironically, Saelmakers had a goal, and so did Kessie. So, and I think
Right.
Saelmakers was man of the match for that game. But yeah, so that was that Macias's debut too? I think so. It was like no, because he scored in the Champions League, so no, it wasn't. But yeah, that was when Macias first started coming. We were in first at the time, and Salernitana was in 20th at the time. So there was a big difference in us there. Looking at the table now, we are in first, and Salernitana's in 20th. So nothing has changed on that front. I wouldn't expect much different from this game. I mean, I don't think. Obviously, Zlatan's still out. Kjaer's going to be out for the rest of the season. It's not even worth mentioning. And I think Gabia is technically injured, but he wasn't going to play anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing two people that I don't know. Koulibaly, spelled differently, and Schiavone. Don't really know much about him. He's got one goal on the season, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, this should be light work.
We should win. Should win.
Yes.
What time did you say kickoff is
It's
that?
2:45 for us.
Oh, easy dub.
Yeah, this is the late game. It would be nice under the bright lights of it's away game, and I think our away form is still better than our home form right now. But just looking at Salernitana's form, they drew to Genoa yesterday. They drew to Spezia the week before, which is better than we did against them. They got destroyed by Napoli and then destroyed by Lazio. And then they beat Hellas on January 9th. That was their last win. So shouldn't it be too hard? I mean, look, I hate when we have these small teams because there just isn't much to say about it. You know, I mean, they've conceded 56 goals this season. They've only scored 17. Like, they're in last place. They got 12 points on the season. If we drop anything here, it's a disaster, and that's a big no-no. This is our opportunity to continue our lead at the top. You know, I'm looking at what's more important is who Inter plays next. Let me check. Liverpool, but Sassuolo on the weekend. That actually might play in our favor because Sassuolo is not a pushover. I mean, they beat us. They pushed Juve to the brink midweek. And then coming off 4 days prior playing Liverpool in the Champions League, there's a good chance that Inter might drop more points. And if they drop 3 points or 3 games in a row in the league, then we're in really good spot. So fingers crossed for that. I think we could do the job there. Napoli is playing Barcelona and then Cagliari. So Napoli's probably going to pick up their win. But
honestly, if it goes to the last day of the season with us, Napoli and Inter fighting for first, I won't be disappointed because we'll be hopefully guaranteed a spot in the top 4.
I had to think about that. Like, wait a minute.
You know, I was like, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And like, here's the thing: a lot of Milan fans, including yourself and Oliver, really get pissed when Inter win the Scudetto, right?
Yes.
I should be in that boat. But like honestly, I don't give a fuck. As long as we are fighting for top 4, like I don't mentally at the beginning of this season, I'm not like, let's go for the Scudetto. When the time comes for us to like challenge and deservedly challenge, I will start to like get my hopes there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But after the past 10 years, I'm just concentrated on getting in the top 4 consistently. I know like they have one more league trophy than us, blah, 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 blah.
My issue is not them getting one more league trophy. Like, that doesn't matter. I don't want them to get the second star on their crest, and they'll get that with this next Scudetto win if they get it. I don't want them to have that before us.
Will we get it if we win this season?
We need to.
We need to. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
you get 1 star every 10 league titles. There are 19, we're on 18. So
yeah, I'm much more concerned about winning the Champions League than winning the league.
Yeah, and that's fair. Especially after the last 10 years, you know, focusing on top 4 is a legitimate thing that matters. At the beginning of the season, I didn't think we were going to challenge for the title either. So I was like, yeah, you know, top 4, just get there. But you said until we deserve to be challenging for. You don't think we deserve to be challenging right now?
I mean, we are challenging, so we deserve it.
There you go.
But,
Okay, that was going to be my argument.
Yeah, I mean, like, but right now, like, the goal is top 4, and we're going for our stretch goal, which is fantastic. But we need to remember where we were 2-3 years ago and where we are at now, and just like stay concentrating on the target.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this might be controversial, but one of the best things to happen to the team was COVID. I think that pause in the 1920 season, right after Zlatan's arrival, gave the team so much time to like actually focus on mentality and practice and skill and chemistry and all that stuff. Because I don't think we lost another game once the restart happened. I think we came back and just went on a tear. And unfortunately, it still only got us Europa League because we were just that abysmal prior. But then after that, I mean, we finished second last season after being in first the good majority of it. I think we dropped out of top 4 once that whole time,
Right.
and then the next week we're back in second. So, I mean, yeah, we've been a totally different team post-COVID. I think it's, been a shitty thing for you and I and the rest of the world. But as far as the team's performance, I think it was the best thing that could happen.
As far as AC Milan, we're doing great.
Yeah.
What would be dope, though, is if we clinched it against Atalanta when we're in DC.
Well, I'll always be in DC, but yes,
when I'm in DC,
when you're there, yeah, dude, that would be fantastic. And that's we just kind of stopped the Salernitana preview. Prediction score?
I'm gonna say 2-0, with Macias starting over Salamakers. When Macias starts, we start so much stronger. Even though he's not that much better, but he's actually a threat towards goal.
Yeah. Well, he's a threat towards goal, and he has a first touch where the ball's going to stay at his foot.
Right.
Whereas Sally needs 4 seconds after receiving the pass to actually settle the ball and then make a run. So it just kills the counters. Whereas with Macias, he could just pass it off again. And I think he's doing so much more not off the ball because he is on it, but so much more than like goals and assists than is getting recognized. And I think that helps our attack so much. But yeah, I think 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0 just for fun. And I think it's going to be Leao 2 and Teo's going to get another goal. So that's what I'm going to go with there.
Teo's back. He only had a 1-game
it was suspension.
Just one. Yeah. I think I already said 2-1. I'm feeling Tonali to score this week.
I would like that. I'd take that.
The kid's so good, man. I'm going to buy his jersey next year. I don't like any of this year's, but maybe next year's.
I bought Mignon's jersey this year, and it wasn't even because I was a big fan. It was more so it was the only one I thought looked good because it was all black, and I was like, that's easy. But then he became like my favorite player for the year, so that's dope. I bought Tonali on the 3rd shirt last season, the blue one. Unfortunately, I bought it as a XL, and I'm a medium now, so I could never wear that. So,
which one is it?
The blue one from last season.
Doc, send it to me. Actually, I'll just take it off your hands when I'm in DC. How
honestly, yeah, I have so many.
We'll see if it fits me.
Yeah, it might be a large. I don't know. Yeah, just check when you get here, because why not? Fuck it. It's funny because I had 2. Remember, I got that. They sent me.
Yeah.
That other guy.
Yeah, other guys.
Yeah. I still follow him. He's cool. So questions is next, and Ollie put the questions tweet out like 40 minutes ago because he decided to tell us he wasn't going to be on an hour in advance. So
no, it was like 7 a.m. You just weren't awake yet.
Yeah, that was what I woke up to. And I set my alarm because I stayed up so late last night. I set my alarm knowing that we normally go at like 10. I set it for 9:55, thinking I'll wake up, put a shirt on, brew some coffee, get going. Then I found out I had to host, so I was like, I need 20, 30 minutes here. So that's where we're at with that. Just pulling up the tweet now to see what we got. Hopefully there's some good ones. Okay. So this is my first read of them. So hopefully you guys aren't saying some crazy shit, and this is just a good list of questions.
Apparently Anthony can't stop reading when he starts. So.
I don't proofread. That doesn't happen. As learned from the descriptions of these podcasts some days. All right, the first one's from Jake at That Milan Fan. Would you renew Zlatan for another year? I think him for where Milan are at the moment, and he has been a great asset. But on the other hand, his salary is too high, and his age is caught up with him, at least when it comes to injuries. I think we're on the same page with this, but you want to say it?
Don't renew him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what you're gonna say because you're like in love with him. I was gonna say something else, but we have fans that
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate that. No, I mean, like I said it actually on the halftime spaces or on full time space. I don't know. I said it on a space. We've done so many lately, but Zlatan was my idol growing up. He's my favorite player ever, but he's not what he was, and it's almost detrimental to the team to have him up front. When you look at the game, or the points we've earned with him playing versus the points we've earned without him, and it's a very stark contrast. I don't think he is physically there anymore. He gets injured every 2-3 games, and he's out for 4 or 5. He's not mobile at all. He just stands still. He's still capable of magic. I mean, he's still on 10 goals for this or 9 goals for the season. He's our, well, I guess third top goal scorer now, but joint second. And yeah, we see how much better we are with the mobile striker. I think we get a young guy in who moves a lot. We're going to be a totally different team. We're seeing it with Giroud, who isn't even that much younger. And look, I dislike Belotti, like actively dislike him. But I think that profile will change games for us. I think we're going to be looking at averaging 3-4 goals a game practically. Like I think not every single game, but I think we're going to be balling out if we get a guy with that style. Not specifically, but him. But just because I think that's a realistic target with him being a free. So I wouldn't renew him. I think he makes too much money, but give him a role inside the club. You can't understate his role in the transformation of us once he arrived. So he's important to the history of Milan and the legacy of this specific squad. Give him a role inside the club, but I don't think he should be playing next season.
Agreed.
Awesome. Next one is from Lorenzo Raffini. Chances of the Scudetto going down the last day seems pretty likely to me. Also think it'll be a 3 or 4 horse race to the end, or just the Milan clubs battling out. Well, you actually basically already touched on that.
I think it's gonna be a 3.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a 3-horse race. I was like, am I saying this right? I think if we have to win out. Like we can't drop points. Dropping points will be almost like giving Inter the title because they have a game in hand against Bologna, which is a like basic 3 points, and then they'll be 1 point above us, I believe, right? Because we're 2 above them now.
Yeah. No, we're 1 point above Inter. No, because
we're
they
1
drew.
point above Napoli, 2 points.
No,
above
we're 1
Inter.
above Inter, 2 above Napoli. But
okay,
Inter still have a game in hand. That's what it is.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I think it will be a 3-horse race, though. I don't think Juve or Atalanta are gonna make up 13 points.
Yeah, well, especially with
is it 13 points or? I think it is for Napoli.
9. It's 9 for Juve.
I don't think that we're going to be dropping 9 points between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But it can happen.
But I do think if Vlahovic gets running, and he has been, he has, well, only 1 goal in 3 games, but he had a second shot that went in and was counted as an own goal. If Vlahovic gets going, then they're probably going to get in the race. But I don't think they're going to be like serious contenders like Napoli or Inter us. And I think Atalanta's out of it. We're 11 points clear of Atalanta, 9 points clear of Juve. Juve's in the top 4 now, so they're there. But yeah, ultimately, 3-horse race. I think it will come down to the last day, or pretty damn close to it. I think there'll be a very clear turning point before then, but I don't think there's going to be no guard of honor. It's going to be the winners on the last day officially. So anything could happen. We'll see. Next question is from Louis Semple 1899. Does Klulu have a place as a consistent starter in the near future with us having a fully fit squad? If not, how long will it take? Or will he be a player who drops in and out? And can we see him being happy with that?
I think he's still too young to be demanding a starting role when there's the players that are in front of him. I think that he needs to understand his spot, and if he doesn't understand it, he's going to ask to leave, and we can make a decent profit off of him.
Yeah, I mean, we only bought him for $500,000, so if he ever leaves, we're making good money.
And he was under 18, so I don't know if we'll owe
He never
money
made a
to.
senior appearance before, so technically he's a one club man with
Yeah.
Milan. Doesn't count as homegrown, but that's okay. I think he is not going to be a starter in the near future. Just looking at who's above him, we have Tomori, clear best center back. Botman is supposedly done for next summer. That's going to be our 1 and 2, those guys right there. If Romagnoli renews, that's a clear third. The cool thing about Kalulu, he could play center back, right back, left back. He could do everything in defense. So he's going to consistently get games, starts, and sub appearances. But I don't think he's going to be like the clear cut starter anytime soon. And that's okay. He doesn't need to be. We have a lot of great players in front of him. He's still young. He's still developing. And in 2-3 years, maybe he is a clear cut starter. But
Yeah.
I don't think he has a clear cut position. I think he's either a center back or a fullback, depending on where the injuries are that day. Because we're never not going to have injuries. It seems like so. Kalu is going to be all over the place, but fantastic player. Really happy with his development. Next one is from Gambale Sandro. If the reports that say Bakayoko will be sent back are true, do you think we'd replace him, or do you think Krunic is good enough to be the fourth choice midfielder?
We have Aldi coming in, or Adley. Aldi's
Yeah.
a store. So if Bakayoko goes, we're replacing him immediately. Plus, with the rumors of Sanchez coming in, we're all set.
Yeah, I agree. I think Krunic will stick around because Pioli really likes him and he plays him everywhere. He's played wing, attacking mid. He's played defensive mid. He's played, just
he's like
everywhere.
An athlete,
Yeah,
he just plays wherever.
yeah. He's utility player. He's like Barini, but not as awful.
Borini was good, better than Salamakers.
Yeah, some might say. Yeah, I think Bakayoko probably is going to stay just because it's a 2-year loan, so might as well keep the body there. And I don't think we're paying much of his wages, so it's not much. But I don't see him being the buyout option being activated. But like you said, we're getting Adley in for attacky mid. If Kessie leaves, which is also very likely, we have Renato Sanchez coming in. Yeah, I think we'll be good there, and maybe we'll get another one if Bakayoko leaves, but I don't think he does. I think he sticks around. This is from Me Name's Fizz32. This is a fantastic AC Milan team. What do you think of the few pieces we need to call this a complete team and the one that can challenge for many years? I'll just take this one first because I think we have the same answers. Pretty obvious. We need a young mobile striker and a right wing. Yeah, easy enough.
Yeah.
I think that's really it. You could argue we need a better attacking mid, but Brahim's finally kicking up, and we have Adley coming in, who's been a baller. So
yeah, I think that a new attacking mid would help, but I don't think it is a necessity.
yeah, I think the attacking mid is just a luxury position, anyways. You don't. Most teams don't play with them. I think it's cool that we do, but I don't think it's needed.
We're unique.
Yeah, we're nifty. All right, next one's from Aziz W22. Why does Leao explode in the first half, destroying teams, but in the second half he seems to slow down a bit? Maybe it's just fitness. Maybe it's because he's exploding so fast, so quick. The first half he's gassed himself out. He's not recovering enough during halftime. Who knows? Maybe come second half, teams are like, okay, this is the guy we got to cover. Like we didn't expect how dynamic he is. So then he's getting double covered. And we also have people to come on for him. We have Rebic, who needs game time. So he's going to be coming on at that 65, 67-minute mark every game. Yeah, I don't think it's an issue with Leao. I think he does slow down in the second half, but
he also runs so fast in the first half. Like
exactly, no
and
player's
he's
going to be fit at 90
let the guy
when they are at 1.
Figure out how to run.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know.
He does look gassed when he comes off, and so maybe that's a good sign of Pioli.
He also looks
when
disappointed.
He's done. Exactly, because he wants to be out there. He's having fun. You see him smiling. When Giroud scored his second goal in one of the games, and Leao jumped on his back, and he jumped over him and fell down on his head. If you watch it in slow motion, while he's falling on his head, he still has a smile on his face. This kid just loves to be out there. He's the best. So I think he wants to be there. Maybe it's fitness. Who knows? Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's just working really hard, and that's tiring. I get
Right.
tired when I do physical activity. I can't imagine he doesn't. So, well, one more question from Machiavelli with a ton of L's. Renew Romagnoli, forget about Botman, and use the money for a striker. There's a question mark there. Or let Romagnoli go and get Botman.
Yes. The second one.
Okay. Yeah, I was like,
What?
Yeah.
We just signed some 18-year-old kid. We don't know if he's gonna be good or bad, and we're in no position to go spend. Here's the thing: a $35 million striker, or euro or pound, whatever currency they are talking about.
Yeah,
whenever
euro.
they're different country, is not going to buy you like what Botman is as a with potential would cost twice as much as the striker.
I agree. Yeah.
Like they don't equate to the same thing.
The striker market today, if you want a top striker who's not even world class, just top, you're looking at 60, 70 million.
Right.
Whereas a world class center back like Botman is, he's won the French league, which yes, we acknowledge French league is below everyone else, but watch him. He's fantastic. He's 35, maybe 40 million, and he's world class, and we're getting that. And I don't think one excludes the other. I think we could get him and still renew Romagnoli and have that depth that we've been begging for years. I mean, look at the injury crisis we just got out of. We had no center backs. It was our second string right back and Gabia, our fifth string center back. That was our starting pair. And it got us through some games, but it's not good enough. Everyone was worried every time they took the field. I don't see why we'd want to get rid of someone who's our current captain, who's currently starting, probably third string typically. I don't see why we would want to get rid of that if we don't have to. He makes a shit ton of money, so he's got to take a pay cut. But yeah, I think keep him and get Botman if we can. And that's why I mentioned Belotti. I've said it over the last 4 years that this podcast has been running, or however long it is. I don't like Belotti. I don't think he's a good player. I don't think he's a bad player, but I think he is going to be free. He's still consistently putting up double-digit goals every season on one of the worst teams in the league at Torino. Put him in a great team like ours, those numbers are probably going to go up. They might drop a little bit, but the assists will go up for everyone else too. So I don't know. I just think that profile is going to help us, and he's going to be on a free, so I have to worry about wages. I think we make the big money signings in defense, midfield. Maybe a right winger would be great. And then we get him for free and we're set. So those are my thoughts. That was the last question. Any closing thoughts?
No. I think next week will just be Oliver and I.
Yeah, I'm going to be gone. I'll be in Colorado for my sister's wedding. I haven't told Oliver yet, so he'll find that one out soon when he listens to this. That's actually, I'm not going to tell him at all. And that's what we'll find out if he listens to the podcast. So Ollie, if you're listening, send me a message. Yeah.
About this specific topic.
Yes, about this specific topic, not anything random in general. I don't want to talk to you otherwise. Well, yeah, it was a good episode. It was short. That's how we like it. We like to do that 45-minute stuff and get straight to the point. Thank you guys so much for made it this far. Remember to subscribe to the newsletter. Description. It's the links in the description below. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, all that stuff helps the algorithm. Helps us grow. We need that. So thank you so much, guys. I've been your host, Anthony 45, right over there. And Madison, sign off.
Sorry, my cats just got into a fight. Yeah, it was a good one, and I enjoyed talking more than 15%. Follow me on Twitter, where I don't tweet 15% of the time.
Yeah, you barely tweet at all. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you in a week's time.
Eccolo Ante in area di rigore, Ante, Ibra, gol! Vediamo se è buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono.